It's 10 points to the Vikings, 14 points to Sydney. And both teams going full force here at the Ipswich Showgrounds. We're watching a bit of sporting history this weekend. This is the first time we've ever seen a men's national tournament in this country. And all the teams so far have been coming out guns a-blazing.
That's right, just to introduce myself, I am Peachy Keane from Canberra and here with Honest Dave for the AMRD Nationals here in Ipswich. It's quite an honour here to be representing Canberra here at the AMRD Nationals and to be announcing this game, Sydney City Smash. I've seen play many a times. This is my first Tweed Valley bout. I'm very excited to see what they've got going on.
Well, stepping up to the jammer line, we have Synaptic Kid jamming in the blue for Tweed and the Quad Father, number 22, jamming for Sydney City. Synaptic Kid takes the outside, puts on the pace and claims lead jammer. The Quad Father holds his position and he's through. He cops a big hit by the Falcon, but he keeps his wheels on the track.
And just incredible holding the pack together, making sure that he gets very few points there. 2 points apiece there for Sydney City Smash and Tweed Valley.
Last time I saw the only time I think that I've seen Sydney City Smash, they played two back-to-back games. The first one against Scartel, defeated them, and straight after they played this team, Tweed Valley Vikings, and defeated them as well in two back-to-back games. But at the moment, the Vikings are holding their position well. It's 16 points to them and 18 points to Sydney. Jam and Jimmy up on the crease, up alongside Jim Peckable for Sydney.
That's right. I do hear that Sydney City Smash are so far undefeated in their bouting history, so this should be very interesting to see what happens out of this tournament on a national level.
Yeah, that's right. They're pegged as the team to beat, that's for certain. And so far they're showing no signs that is any different this weekend. Jim Peckable completes his initial pass, and he is our lead jammer.
And Tweed Jammer still in the pack, having to face up against Yamam and Bohemian Slapsody, doing some great backwards blocking at the in the pack.
Yeah, Bohemian Slapsody playing keystone position, shoving his jammers where they need to be, doing a stellar job as well.
And just an update, Jim Peckable being sent to the Spank Alley penalty box there. I think that was a cut, which means Jam and Jimmy is on a power jam, having been blocked out by Yamam and sent back to make another pass here.
Yeah, you got to feel it for Jam and Jimmy. He thought he saw light at the end of the tunnel. He fired his cannons, but then Yamam just shut him down on the inside, and he has to do it all again. It's tough work out there. Sydney City playing defence beautifully. Jam and Jimmy takes the outside, Rampage dishes out a hit, and Jimmy is through.
And that was his initial pass there. No points there, but Jim Peckable back out of the Spank Alley penalty box and getting a 4-point pass there.
Oh, Jam and Jimmy shut down by Yamam again on the inside. Yamam just loves lining up those inside cross-track blocks. Jam and Jimmy picks up the pace, and Yamam uses his own momentum just to smash him down.
And the strider from Valley Vikings blocking out Jim Peckable and running him back to the back of the pack there.
Wow, that was a massive jam there. Brilliant.
Your mum giving a bit of a victory grunt there at the end of that one.
He certainly got his blood up, I think. A victory grunt.
It was. It was like a reel from the depths of the bellows. It was a grunt like, and he deserves it. He is having a great blocking game so far. Just a score update.
If it was
Sydney.
A cartoon, it would have been spelled UGH, what he just said.
Yeah, that's right. So Sydney City Smash on 27, Valley Vikings on 18 so far.
Silent Butcher jamming for the Tweed Valley Vikings.
Oh, some great footwork there, but having to re-engage after being hit out on the inside there.
And we've got Trinity jamming for Sydney.
Oh. Some really hard backwards blocking there from 302 for Valley Vikings. Pandemonium doing an inside clear there, trying to help him, but blockers are having just as much of a hard time. We've got lead jammer for Valley Vikings. which is...
So let's see what Silent Butcher can do with this. But the Holy Trinity's not too far behind him. He jumps on the inside, shut down by Panda. And 4 points awarded. 4 points apiece there awarded to both jammers. Wow, brutal.
Wow, so even though he did that apex jump unsuccessfully, he still managed to collect those points and stay out of the Spank Alley penalty box. So good work there.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. We've seen a lot of apex jumps this morning, and some more successful than others. But regardless, they're brilliant to watch anyway. Gallagher stepping up to the crease for Tweed. And in the black, number 89, skating for Sydney, Colonel Panic.
That's right, Colonel Panic is a Wizard of Oz alumni. Team Australia for the men's World Cup, which was in March this year, I think. And doing very well for that team. Is a very dedicated skater, referee, coach for Sydney.
Fights his way around G-Man. Oh, hang on. There are blockers all over the shop. Gallagher thought he was through. He was given lead jammer. Calls off the jam. Oh, and again, he thought he could see a way through the gap, and he was just shut down there right at the last second.
That's right. It looked like he was going to make it through first, and there was just some really great resetting at the front of the pack there, just sucking him back in and hitting him to the outside. He's like, no, I'm not having any of that. I'm going to call it off.
22 points to Tweed Valley Vikings, 31 to Sydney City Smash. The Quadfather stepping up to the crease in the black for Sydney, and number 27, Strider, in the blue for Tweed. Strider takes to the outside. Quad looking for an opportunity, but there is none. Synaptic Kid shuts him down on the inside, and Tweed have claimed lead jammer.
A beautiful outside clear there by number 29, G-Man, helping his jammer through to get lead status. Getting the 4 points there for Valley Vikings, and as expected, calling it off. A great jam there for Strider.
Nice little jam there by Tweed. They're now 5 points behind, 26 points to Tweed, 31 points to Sydney. And we have 5 minutes 40 seconds left in the first half. Only 15-minute halves in these initial matches. And because the game's only shorter, a skater will foul out after 4 penalties rather than the usual 7. Akuba Matata stepping up to the crease in the blue for Tweed, and Jim Peckable in the black for Sydney.
That is interesting, honest Dave. I didn't realise that they had changed the penalty ruling for these games. I was wondering, because in the last game, the one of the brawlers, Thor something, fouled out. And so it's very interesting how that will change the game. Having the 4 trips to the Spank Alley penalty box will affect people's games in fouling out.
Yeah, well, you'd hope that in a 15-minute half game, you're not going to accrue 7 penalties throughout the course, but you never know.
That's right, a great inside line pass there from
Kuba Matata.
Thank you, and your mum trying to block that hole, unable to do that, trying to go for it again, hits him out, but your mum went out as well, so not able to force a cut on there. Holy Trinity doing some great blocking at the front of the pack, but having to yield, and he's earned himself an out-of-play penalty heading out to the Spank Alley penalty box.
Yeah, watching Rampage doing some great defence there, making life very hard for Akuba Matata. He's caged against the outside now, looking for an opening, takes to the inside. The Falcon offers some offence, and Akuba Matata's through for another scoring pass.
That's right, some great smart playing here and some great assisting from the Valley Vikings here, really assisting their jammers to get those points, which was really great to see. I hate seeing jammers on a power jam being left to their own devices. It's a bit soul-crushing, but sometimes that's what you've got to do to play smart.
Well, that jam there has put the Vikings in the lead. Sydney City Smash now sitting on 31 points. Tweed Valley Vikings 36. Tweed are back in this game. Silent Butcher stepping up to the crease, and Colonel Panic jamming in the black for Sydney. Silent Butcher trying to follow in Colonel Panic's wake. Not able to pull it off. Colonel Panic opens up his own gaps and completes his initial pass. He's steaming around the track now looking for points. Silent Butcher takes to the outside, but is held down. Now Colonel Panic in the guts of that pack. And he's through. Absolutely stellar defense by Justin Credible, working pretty much alone there on the outside. And this is going to put Sydney City back on top. Colonel Panic puts on the pace. Silent Butcher's taken down on the inside. Not to say Colonel Panic had an easy job of it. Noisy Boy did some great work. Gallagher, Jam and Jimmy, but we have Sydney Smash have now taken the lead 40 points to 36, and Colonel Panic in the guts of that pack looking for more. He has to yield, picks up the pace. Gallagher holds the inside line again. Jam and Jimmy hanging back looking for support. Silent Butcher shut down on the outside by Bohemian. Slaps it, he recovers. Has to take the outside stunt muffin. Just Incredible holding the outside, and Silent Butcher's got nowhere to turn.
Colonel Panic showing some really great footwork there. He was blocked on the outside, managed to stay in bounds, but still stepped out, making sure that he wasn't taking any risks there on the risk for having a cut track, but was able to stay in play, which is really great.
Well, the Vikings, Sydney Smash are back on top now. Vikings on 36 points. They didn't score any points in that jam, and that was a 14-point jam for Sydney. They're now on 45 points. 1 minute, 45 seconds left in the first half. Synaptic Kid stepping up to the crease for Tweed, and Quadfather jamming for Sydney.
And just an update, if you are having any issues with the sound or the feed, you can tweet to me, Lee Mackay, LIMA_KAI. If you're having any issues, we'll try and sort it out. But I hope everyone can hear us out there on the internet. Just an update, we've got the Quadfather lead jammer for Sydney City Smash.
Panda holding the outside, your mum weighing in as well, Rampage, and there's a nice 3-wall there. With Synaptic Kid, got nowhere to turn. Quadfather busts through that back for a 5-point grand slam. Synaptic Kid recovers, takes it to the outside, shut down by Rampage and your mum working in concert. And Quadfather now having to fight his way through Tweed's defence. Forced out of bounds by Tropstar, has to yield. Synaptic Kid, oh, your mum is just a killer. Dishes out a mighty hit. Oh man, they are just absolutely punishing each other. There's bits of equipment flying off across the track.
Somebody's a splint from their wrist guard has fallen out, sliding into the suicide line there, so hopefully someone can pick that up.
The concrete is just shuddering from the sound and weight of those bodies hitting the ground. Quadfather takes a spill over his own teammate, but he's recovered and gets another 5 points for Sydney.
I know Stunt Muffin is feeling pretty silly right now, getting in the way of his jammer, but Quadfather dusted himself off. Everything's all good.
Synaptic Kid only now completes his initial pass after 1 minute and 35 seconds of fighting. Another huge jam there by Sydney City. And that is half-time. 36 points to the Vikings, 64 points to Sydney. Those last two jams, Sydney scored 33 points, if my math serves me correctly, and the Vikings scored 1. Absolutely brilliant. We're only going to have a 2-minute half-time, so because we are just keeping these games pumping out all weekend. So we're just going to take a deep breath, and we'll be back in probably 1 minute by now.
Oh, possibly. I just want to take this opportunity to thank some of our major sponsors, Extreme Skates, making skaters go to the extreme. For all your roller derby needs, contact Franca and the team, www.extremeskates.com.au or through Facebook. They have the naming rights for the Extreme Skates Jammerline. Need to remember my calling to make sure that I don't forget to mention the Extreme Skates Jammerline. Also, Spank Alley. Are your panties in a state of disarray? Keep finding them on the floor near your ankles instead of on your head? Contact Peter for custom stars and stripes. SpankAlley.com.au for Facebook. Go get spanked at the Spank Alley penalty box. Thank you to Spank Alley and Extreme Skates. Also wanting to do a bit of a shout out. Australian Men's Roller Derby recommends their charity for Movember. Start the conversation about men's health, movember.com.au, or check the link on the AMRD website. If you want to check out any of the score updates and rankings, you can go to amrdnationals.com for all of the feed updates as we progress through the tournament.
So I know we had a bit of trouble with the audio feed in the last game between the Brawlers and Victoria Vanguard. Bob DeQuickly has just given us an update on the score there. Ended up being a Victorian Vanguard victory. 120 points over the Bass Strait. 129 points over the Bass Strait Brawlers, 100 points. So, yeah, the Vanguard.
So they're both on 2, so it's 4 penalties for a foul out?
So the points are the points differential becomes important if there are any ties. If a team wins 2 games out of their pool, they move forward. If it's a tie, then the points differential comes into play.
That's right, and so far the differentials are Scartel on plus 96 and Vanguard on plus 29. So Scartel are looking pretty good on their differentials so far. Depending on who they play next, that will come into account if in effect of a tie, or how that will affect them if they lose the next game to put them into the prelim finals coming up later in the day.
I'm incredibly impressed with how Tweed are going. Like I said, last time I saw these two teams, Sydney just came straight off the back of a game against Scartel and still defeated Tweed in gave them a solid thumping. But the Tweed are fighting hard here at the Ipswich Showgrounds today.
That's right. I did speak to Monty Bones from Gold Coast and getting a bit of background info on Tweed, the Valley Vikings. So they're only 12 months old as a team, and so they are just getting into their development part of the team. So being a team that's only been skating for 12 months as a team, I think they're doing pretty well, and I think this kind of level of derby is definitely going to push them into the next level, experience-wise, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've got to watch a lot of Tweed play over the years, and they are definitely becoming faster and harder. They've got some killer players out there. And but anyway, enough talking about them. We get to watch them in action right now as the second half is about to commence. Colonel Panic in the black jamming for Sydney City Smash, and in the blue, number 512, Akubra Matata jamming for Tweed.
So far in this second half, we have no skaters in the Spank Alley penalty box. Just a reminder, 4 trips to the Spank Alley penalty box will see you foul out of the games in this tournament, just because we're trying to keep them short. So far we've got Jim Peckable on 2 penalties so far, so he's going to have to watch himself in this second half.
And Colonel Panic busts out of that pack after 28 seconds of fight. Akubra Matata still having to get... Oh, that's your mum again. Jeez, he's a solid skater.
That's right. He is solid. Forwards, backwards, any way you like it. That's the way you get it.
It doesn't matter how hard someone smashes into him. He just doesn't move. He just doesn't budge. He's like flying a hang glider into Ayers Rock. He's just unmoved. Akubra Matata is through the pack.
And unfortunately, your mum being sent to the Spank Alley penalty box. I think that was a out-of-play blocking penalty.
Well, not unfortunately if you're a Tweed Valley Viking supporter, because this next jam is starting off as a power jam with Strider stepping up to the crease, jamming unopposed for Tweed in the blue. 36 points to the Vikings and 69 points to Sydney City. Let's see. Oh, hang on. It looks like Colonel Panic didn't go to the penalty box after all.
No. I think it looked like it may have. But Jim Peckable was just, taking his time, strolling up to the Extreme Skates jammer line, taking his time, taking that 30 seconds.
Oh, hang on. He threw the dummy to the inside and swooped around the outside. And Jim Peckable is our lead jammer. Strider completes his initial pass. Jim Peckable in the guts of that pack now, looking for points. Shut down, forced to yield. Oh, hang on.
Oh, and an
Strider's
inside pass
no,
there.
that is a track cut. See you later, Strider. 30 seconds in the sin bin.
He was straddling that line. I have to say, on one skate, it was looking a little bit suspect, and he was indeed called for that track cut, having to spend some time in the Spank Alley penalty box.
Well, Jim Peckable not able to take full advantage of this power jam because of that stellar defense by the Falcon on the outside. He's finally through with 4 points up there on the board and a no pass, no penalty. Jim Peckable looking for more points. Nice solid blue wall there. G-Man at the front and centre. Truck stop weighing in as well. But Sydney stepped in now, shaking up the defence, and Strider is through.
The inside line kind of opened up there. Sydney City Smash kind of swarming on the outside, but your mum was on it. He was. Well, there is a your mum female skater, so I got a bit mixed up.
He doesn't have a beard.
No, that is true. He was on the inside watching, but not able to hold that jam off for as long as he would have liked.
Tweed Valley Vikings on 40 points. Sydney City Smash on 75. Synaptic Kid up on the line, jamming for Tweed, and the Quad Father jamming for Sydney.
Bit of a scrum start on the line there. Synaptic Kid. On the inside. It was almost too easy. Fell over. Still on the track. Here's through. Lead jammer for Valley Vikings.
And Stunt Muffin was there on him, but Synaptic Kid recovered and claimed lead jammer. He's hitting that pack at quite the pace, swoops around the outside, puts his 4 points up there on the board, calls off the jam. Another 4 points added to Tweed's score, so there's now 31 points of difference and 11 minutes remaining in this match. Gallagher up on the line for Tweed, and Holy Trinity jamming in the black for Sydney.
We've got pack advantage going to Sydney City Smash, 4 blockers, to Valley Vikings 3.
So Gallagher tries to go at an angle to avoid a back block, but Panda and Just Incredible shut him down. Your mum's there as well.
Your mum trying to do it outside clear for Holy Trinity there. Didn't quite work out. The Vikings blockers were resetting around him. He is fighting at the front to get through first.
Oh man, they were battering each other there. Brilliant. But Holy Trinity is through. Gallagher struggling to complete his initial pass. Holy Trinity shut down there on the inside by Noisy Boy in a punishing block. Gallagher now is trapped against your mum. Panda weighing in, Just Incredible. They are all over him, and he's got nowhere to turn for right now. Jam and Jimmy trying to open up some gaps. Gallagher not able to capitalise, and Panda and Just Incredible Bruce Scramble doing some stellar defence there.
Jam and Jimmy just having a hard time trying to assist there, but decided to drop back and block.
Oh, he just offered up a nice hit onto Holy Trinity though, and Holy Trinity forced a call off the jam after being awarded his 4 points. So that's 44 points to the Vikings in the blue, 79 points to Sydney City Smash in the black. 9 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Jim Peckable lines up on the jammer line in the black for Sydney. And Synaptic Kid hits the jammer line for the Tweed. Jim Peckable following in Synaptic Kid's wake. Can't quite pull it off. Oh, big hit there by Tropstar. Synaptic Kid swoops around the outside and claims lead jammer.
And just a shout out to Jared Quinn on Twitter, checking in with the sound. The sound is all good. Thank you very much, Jared. And thanks for checking in with us. Good to know that you can hear our sultry voices over the feed.
So Jim Peckable shut down on the inside. Synaptic Kid putting up the pace. Rampage doing some great work for Sydney City. But that's a 5-point grand slam for Synaptic Kid.
Great work, Synaptic Kid, thrusting those hips in front, getting those hit points and calling it. So a great pass there.
Yeah, it was some impressive work. 49 points to the Vikings, 79 to Smash, 30 points the difference. 7 minutes, 54 seconds left in the match. Colonel Panic jamming against Noisy Boy. Colonel Panic spies an opening on the inside. Oh, but nicely nudged by Tropstar. Forced to yield. Noisy Boy digging in his toe stops and just forcing his way through. But it's not a strategy that Sydney are going to let him get away with. And Colonel Panic is our lead jammer.
That's right, Tropstar doing his best with his other blocker. We've got 2 of the Tweed blockers in the in the Spank Alley penalty box, and they have just been released now as Colonel Panic makes a 5-point pass for Sydney City Smash.
Yeah, that's right. While our Tweed jammer still fighting to complete his initial pass, and Colonel Panic's coming around again, swoops to the outside. But was that Rampage blocking his path? I think it was. Tropstar dishes out a nice hit. Colonel Panic cops them all, completes his initial pass for 5 points.
Your mum being sent to the Spank Alley penalty box. Not quite sure what that was for, but gave the referee a bit of a look. Can't wait to get back out there and start smashing again. Colonel Panic calling off the jam there. Another 4 points for Sydney City Smash.
And yeah, that wasn't Rampage. I was talking about that was the Falcon working hard on the outside there. 49 points to the Vikings and 93 to Sydney. 6.5 minutes remaining. Silent Butcher in the blue for Tweed. Quadfather in the black for Sydney. We have a 4-2 pack advantage to Tweed now. So that'll make life a little easier for Silent Butcher. Let's see if he can capitalise. Oh, he does. Up on his toe stops on the inside line, and Silent Butcher is our lead jammer.
Troublesome from Sydney coming out of the Spank Alley penalty box, and your mum is still to come out of there. So 3 blockers on the track for Sydney, having a hard time trying to get Quadfather out. But we've had the Valley Vikings jammer.
That was a track cut penalty for Silent Butcher. And it looks so nice. He did this beautiful lateral movement, swept across the track, but was blocked out of bounds and track cut. So Sydney City Smash now in command of a 30-second power jam. Oh, man, big hit there by Synaptic Kid. Jam and Jimmy working hard at the front, but the Quadfather.
And Jam and Jimmy being sent to the Spank Alley penalty box there for an out-of-play block. Panty pass there to your mum at the front of the pack here. Your mum being blocked by Synaptic Kid. He's still on the track, so he's able to make it out as the new jammer for Sydney City Smash.
So the pack is at a standstill now on turn 3. Both jammers hit that pack so hard. Your mum and Silent Butcher both fighting. Silent Butcher takes to the outside, but he's trapped at the front by Rampage this time.
That's right. He fell to his knees and slid onto the track, but was able to get back out of bounds safely without getting a track cut. Your mum passing through for a scoring pass and through for another scoring pass. Another 5 points for Sydney City Smash.
Yep, your mum busts out of the front of that pack. Here's G-Man now with the jammer star. Big hit there on the outside. Absolutely quality work. He hits the back of that pack like a coal train. And he's through.
Oh,
G-Man again just batches his way past Rampage. That was an epic jam there by both teams.
and the crowd is loving it, giving all their love to G-Man there for the Valley Vikings there. Silent Butcher on that last jam hitting out your mum on the outside, and your mum's looking at the clock going, God, do I really have to go back? Luckily for him, the jam was called, so he didn't have to, but...
I certainly wouldn't be caught out there. 57 points to Tweed, 109 points to Smash, 3 minutes, 43 seconds left in the match. Gallagher jamming in the blue for Tweed, Jim Peckable in the black for Sydney. Pack pretty tight as it rounds turn 2.
Some great recycling at the front there by Tweed, blocking Jim Peckable. Oh, and Tweed is through. Gallagher lead jammer for Tweed. Jim Peckable not too far behind though.
I love watching Gallagher. As soon as he busts through the pack, you'll see him about a second later just adjust his glasses. He batters through, and as soon as he's got a bit of freedom, he just puts his glasses back on properly and keeps on trucking.
That's right.
Beautiful work there by Gallagher.
Tweed was at the back of the pack there, so Gallagher not wanting to give away any points, called it off there, 0-0.
Holy Trinity up, jamming in the black for Sydney, and Cooper Retarder in the blue for Tweed. 57 points to Tweed, 109 for Sydney. 2 minutes, 48 seconds left. Oh.
Just try and
Holy Trinity trying to find an opening there, but Tweed's defence is too strong. Cooper Retarder's caged against the outside by Sydney, but he's making a bit of progress. Both jammers are. Rampage holding his position at the front. Colonel Panic weighing in as well.
That's right, doing some great transitioning from forwards to backwards blocking there. Bit of triangle of death action there. Rampage at the front of that triangle, steering his blockers around. Doing a great job, but they're going to have to keep mind of any multiplayer blocks. Looks like they're all good, but it's Cooper Matata, lead jammer for the Tweed Vikings.
After fighting for 43 seconds to get through the pack, Cooper Matata is the first one through. Takes the outside, but Stunt Muffin shuts him down with some support by Rampage and Colonel Panic. Cooper Matata forced to yield. Holy Trinity blocked out of bounds by the Falcon.
Holy Trinity getting blocked on the outside. He was on the very outside edge and the entire inside was free. I thought that was very strange that was the road that he took, but, making the best decisions and trying to stay out of the Spank Alley penalty box.
Bang, a Cooper Matata 5-point grand slam for Tweed. Pack slowing down as heads into the backstretch, and a Cooper Matata calls off the jam, and Tweed are 5 points closer. 62 points to Tweed, 109 to Sydney. Only a minute and 8 seconds left in the match. We may very well be looking at the final jam of this match.
That's right, Sydney in a very tidy lead here, but they are wanting to get as many points as possible to keep their differential up.
And next up, we'll be having back to the Group 1 games. Brisbane City Rollers Scartel against the Perth Rampage.
Strider having a bit of a hard time at the back of the pack there, but looks like Just Incredible's been drawn out to the back by G-Man, and it's Tweed lead jammer. Strider lead jammer for Tweed, and Holy Trinity not too far behind.
The pack is at a dead stop up between turns 1 and 2. Someone just copped a mighty hit there. I couldn't quite see who it was, but I heard it. Heard the sound of the body hitting the ground. Just Incredible busts out of that pack for 4 points.
Oh, my mistake. It was Just Incredible. It wasn't Holy Trinity. I do apologise.
He's coming around again looking for points. G-Man holding his position on the outside and fighting back as well. Tropstar weighing in. Panda trying to offer some offense. Silent Butcher. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Pandemonium stopping the run backs there, making sure that they don't draw him back any further than he needs to. Tropstar defending but having to yield back into play. He has been sent for an out-of-play block, I think. Spending some time in the Spank Alley penalty box or something.
Silent Butcher and G-Man are 2 defenders. Synaptic Kid waiting on point to see if he should break free.
So I just got distracted. Strider as jammer, actually fouled out as the jammer for Tweed. So I was wondering why he was leaving the Spank Alley penalty box. So they will have to fill a jammer in that role as he has fouled out of this game.
So it's back to the sheds for Strider. But to be honest, the game's almost over anyway. The period clock's ended. As soon as that whistle goes, the game is ended. Your mum busts out of that pack for a 5-point grand slam. Pack is at a standstill.
It's very interesting that they didn't field a jammer to replace Strider in this. I know it's at the very last jam, but it's very interesting that happened.
Your mum's just got the track to himself.
Bohemian Slapsody having a bit of a hard time on that last jam, contesting a bit of a call. But at this stage, Sydney are still in the lead, so we'll just have to see what's going on there. We've got, I know.
I'm pretty sure we're at full time, aren't we? I didn't hear the rolling whistle, but...
No, I think they're still tallying up the scores there and just clearing everything.
Well, we're sitting on an official score right now. Tweed Valley Vikings on 64, Sydney City Smash on 128. We don't have an official score, but I think it's safe to say that Sydney City Smash have claimed a victory in this match.
I'm just looking at the schedule. We're both doing in-house straight away for the next game, Scartel versus Perth Rampage. So we won't be on these airwaves, but we'll see if we can get some background noise in there somewhere.
I think our voice boxes are going to cop a bit of a smashing this weekend, Peachy Care.
Oh, yes, I'm very much looking forward to it. If it's anything like TGSS, yeah. I hope that you've got lots of lemon and honey because by the last day you're a bit like this.
Oh, yeah. It'll be like that again today, I'm sure of it. I try and look after my voice, but then I get all excited to start yelling at everyone.
I know. I watched that last game, Vanguard versus Brawlers, and I was very mindful not to scream my guts out. Got to preserve your vocal cords.
Learn from my mistakes. Well, we don't have official score up there on the board yet. So they're still... The scorekeepers are still working away there. Scartell are lining up, ready to warm up for their next game against the Perth Rampage.
In the meantime, we'll just give a shout out to our major sponsors, Extreme Skates. Thank you to Extreme Skates, naming rights for the Extreme Skates Jammerline. Also Spank Alley for the Spank Alley penalty box. Thank you to our sponsors.
And we have a final score, 64 points to the Tweed Valley Vikings, 127 points to Sydney City Smash. And my name's Honest Dave. I've been here with Peachy Keen. Stick around for Scartell versus Perth Rampage.
See you later.